Wrong winner announced at Heritage Pageant. One body recovered following boat mishap. And government will not renegotiate 2016 Exxon sale. I'm Enrico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. The wrong winner was announced when the curtains came down on the Miss Amerindian Heritage Pageant. The Ministry of Amerindian Affairs on Sunday blamed an erroneous tabulation for the incorrect results being announced. As a result, Region 7 delegate Christy Emma Rambarat has been announced as the new queen after earning a total of 768 points. The Region 5 delegate, who was announced as the winner originally, Amber Andrews, was announced as the third runner-up. The government plans to allocate 20% of the national budget on the education sector. $74.4 billion Guyana dollars, or about 13.5% of this year's $552.9 billion Guyana dollar national budget, was allocated to the sector. A part of this increase of spending will go to support the government's campaign promise to provide free college education by 2025. It should be noted that even at 13.5%, Guyana is one of the few nations in the world that dedicates the largest percentage of its national budget to education. By 2025, the government wants to increase the nation's poultry production from 50,000 metric tons to 90,000 metric tons. They are also aiming to produce corn and soya, two relatively new crops to Guyana, at commercial quantities, as they are now projecting farmers to produce 35,000 metric tons by 2035. The president explained these goals during a diaspora engagement in Orlando, Florida over the weekend. He also referred to rice production with an aim of moving from 560,000 metric tons to 870,000 metric tons by 2025, while increasing vegetable production from 324,000 metric tons to 400,000. According to the president, the government is focused on positioning Guyana to become a leader in food production. And during another engagement, he addressed the issue of delays in issuing Guyanese passports. Even though the government ordered some 80,000 copies over a year ago, they are held up by the global supply chain crisis. When in doubt, blame the Rona. He explained that the materials to print the Guyanese passport booklet is provided by a company in Canada. But because of the supply chain issues, there is a shortage of materials needed to produce said documents. On Friday, 55-year-old Surendra Sukhdev and his daughter, 33-year-old Mandy Sukhdev, both of them former coalition councillors, were sentenced to serve an additional 4.5 years in prison for the 2017 fatal beating of 22-year-old fisherman Sharifuddin Nazrumuddin. The two were originally charged with murder, but they opted to plead guilty to the lesser charge of manslaughter. They have been on remand since 2017. On Monday, the police recovered the body of Randy Adams from the Essequibo River following a boat mishap near Calf Island on Saturday evening. Meanwhile, the search continues for the other missing man, Alan Leaked. When the vessel left Barica, it had 10 passengers on board, including Daryl Romeo, aka DJ Magnum, along with the captain, 34-year-old Jermaine Blackman, and his 18-year-old bowman, Lemuel Allen. During the journey, the captain collided into a damaged beacon near Calf Island, sinking the boat immediately. Blackman is currently in police custody, while the police are still searching for the other missing man. Now it's time to tell you about Pespy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is this 2016 Toyota Crown Athlete. It comes with Bluetooth, mud rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, back camera, and much, much more. Buy cash for $9.95 million, or pay as low as $1.99 million down, with around $170,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit the showroom at 171 Peter Street, Queenstown, Lot 2 Lamoshid, and tell them the Riga sent you for this sweet deal. Are you a truck owner? Pay close attention. Avoid lengthy downtime when your truck broke down. Get high-quality DAF, International, Freightliner, Bedford TM, or Scammell truck parts at the lowest prices at Powered Automotive. Visit them at Lot 1161 EE Eccles, or call them on telephone number 6970171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. On Saturday night, the body of 4-year-old Shane Samuels was found floating in a trench at Anns Grove, East Coast, Demerara. Reports are that the child was left in the care of an aunt while his mother went to work on Saturday morning. His body was discovered hours later in a trench near the home. It is suspected that the child fell in while he was playing outside. An investigation is ongoing. To correct a story from last week, Winston Jordan's misconduct in public office case has not been dismissed. Instead, iNews reports that senior magistrate Leron Daly was forced to reschedule after no prosecutor from Soku appeared in court. Thus, the matter has been adjourned to October 31st, 2022. On Monday, the newsroom reported that the agriculture minister still awaits a response on the promised Suriname-issued fishing licenses for Guyanese fishermen who currently fish in their waters. Yet Mustafa assured the fishermen that they have the government's full support and said a resolution continues to be pursued. However, last Friday, the vice president told fishermen in Bibis that the government will escalate the issue by deferring it to CARICOM. On Friday, 35-year-old laborer Harvey Mattis was remanded to prison after pleading not guilty to breaking into a home in Soesdijk, East Bank, Demerara last weekend. He will be back in court October 31st. On Saturday, 30-year-old Fabian Atkinson, 24-year-old Terence Strawn, and 20-year-old L-boy Anastasio were arrested during a marijuana eradication exercise in developed Upper Berbice River. According to the police, over 3,000 pounds of ganja were seized and burned on the spot. The men are awaiting official charges. Now for today's oil update. Almost a third of Guyana's offshore acreage remains unlicensed ahead of Guyana's first ever oil block auction. Thus far, ExxonMobil currently holds the most offshore blocks: Starbrook, Kaicha, and Kanji. In fact, they possess 10 times the legal amount due to our government allowing them to break the law. There is also the Roraima block, operated by Occidental Petroleum, along with the Kaniku block, operated by Repsol, and the Orinduk block, operated by Tillo Oil. There are also the Demerara and Quarantine blocks, operated by CGX Energy, and the Berbice block, operated by On Energy, which is a subsidiary of CGX. Both the Demerara and Berbice blocks will be included in the auction since they will be relinquished by CGX. This agreement to relinquish the blocks is yet to be enacted, so they remain unlicensed on the books. There is also the Oriole block. In other oil news, the government is not budging on its stance of not renegotiating the current Exxon PSA. This reaffirmation follows revelations that the 2016 PSA was quietly amended in 2019 to disallow Exxon from recovering our 2% royalties. The government says that it is fully aware of the amendments to the contract, but it does not share the view that it serves as a precedent for further changes to the fiscal regime. Instead, they said that the nation can be assured that the new PSA they are crafting to serve the anticipated upcoming auction and beyond will ensure more revenue than the current contract. Your home is your most valuable asset, so before you sign on the dotted line, call VJS Home Inspections. They are a licensed and insured home inspection company with professionals operating in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island, and Westchester counties. From electrical and plumbing issues to a leaky roof. If there's a fault in the house, VJS will find it using the latest industry technology, including infrared scanners, HD drones, and more. So if you're buying or selling a home in New York, make the smart choice. Call VJS Home Inspections at 914-513-9356 and tell them Noriko sent you. It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. Now for our Uncut News Viewers Poll Question of the Day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. On Friday, I asked, how do you feel about the geopolitical changes going on in relation to China, the US, Europe, CARICOM, and others? Do you think our government is managing the changes well? Why or why not? Seems like only George Thomas had something to say. And apparently, he does not seem to support what's going on, as he says that the government is without any sense. All these loans, just remember, they will have to be repaid. So, before we get to tonight's question, you can multiply your cash by selling Digicel Top-Up. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top offender quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. Now for tonight's question. How do you feel about the government's insistence on not renegotiating the contract even though it was amended in 2019? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Enrico Bulford saying good night, folks.